friends, I'm Erica and welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, because there are quite a few new subscribers, thanks for subscribing. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be doing the Top 5 Wednesday topic, which is your favorite books before YouTube. And for me, since I only joined BookTube like less than a month ago, I'm gonna go my favorite books before I started watching YouTube. Let's go ahead and get started. The first book I have on my list is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. As I've said before, September 10th is, oh guys, it's less than 20 days now. It's coming up, I'm so excited. This is my favorite book in her Outlander series. I read this for the first time in undergrad, I think the summer between my sophomore and junior year. I can't quite remember the exact year, but I really loved it. Not for obvious reasons like print shop scene and all that other stuff, but with each book, Diana introduces a new point of view. In book 1, it's just from Claire's perspective. In book 2, it's another character. And then this book, for the first time, she introduces Jamie's perspective, and Jamie's the male love interest in the series. He's king of men, fantastic, wonderful Scotsman. I love him so much. So Voyager is my first pick. I love this book so much. I am so excited for the show when it comes out. My next book is a nonfiction title. It's called Death at SeaWorld, Shamu and the Dark Side of Killer Whales in Captivity. It's by David Kirby, and it's an investigative piece. And what I love about this book so much is the way he frames the narrative. He looks at Tilikum, who, if you don't know, was a killer whale that lived at SeaWorld and killed altogether 3 people while he was in captivity, and Keiko, who was the whale who played Willie in the Free Willy movies, and speculates that, you know, they came from similar circumstances, and yet one of them became very violent and hostile and dangerous, and the other did not. Tilikum became violent, Keiko did not. It was really interesting. It also had a lot about the ethics of keeping animals in captivity, specifically with killer whales and high intelligence mammals, the repercussions of doing so, and also just the ethical side of when you're running a big for-profit business that requires you to take animals out of their natural habitat, what that can do, not only to the whales themselves, but to the ecosystems and the environments they're being taken from. It just is an amazing book. If you're wanting to find a really interesting nonfiction title that's relevant to issues of today and also just written really well and easy to follow, this is the one. Check it out. My next book is one of my favorite books of poetry, if not my favorite book of poetry of all time. I'm still amazed that someone wrote this. It's called Blood Dazzler by Patricia Smith, and you can see it was a National Book Award finalist. It totally should have won. I don't even know what won this year, but this should have been the winner. It's written by Patricia Smith. It basically tells the story of Hurricane Katrina, and what's amazing about it is she has some poems that are in free verse, others that are in more formal, structured poems like sonnets and all of that stuff. And it's just so heartbreakingly beautiful. Her writing is amazing. I had the privilege of seeing her when she was touring for this book when I was in undergrad, and just hearing her speak the poems was also just amazing. One thing I also really liked is the vignettes were different people that experienced Hurricane Katrina, but then also Hurricane Katrina, the storm itself, was personified, and it just is an amazing book of poetry. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions about it, let me know. It's just amazing. I love it so much. The next book on my list is a book from my childhood that is so dear to my heart. I love it so much. I have Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And thanks, Dad, for the new beautiful collector's edition for my birthday. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Because my copy is a ratty old paperback that's literally falling apart. I love this book so much. I identified with Anne a lot. I think a lot of us do. But I also really like Lucy Maud Montgomery's writing style and the fact that each character is really three-dimensional and interesting. I just love everything Anne of Green Gables. I love the Megan Fellows version. I love the TV show. I love everything about Avonlea. And I also really liked the new Netflix show, although I understand why a lot of people don't. Did you watch it? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments, guys. Let's start talking about it. My final book for my Top 5 Wednesday favorite books before YouTube is going to be Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, the reason I picked Half-Blood Prince is because this came out, when did this come out? I was still in high school, I think. 2005. 2005? So that would have been, what, sophomore year? Anyways, I think it came out the summer between sophomore and junior year. That sounds right. This is my favorite book in the Harry Potter books. I love them all, of course, but this one's my favorite. Not just because my ship finally sailed, my babies finally got together. Oh my gosh, guys, when that happened, oh man, I think everybody in town heard me squealing like a fangirl. Ah, guys, that kiss, and the movies didn't have the kiss, and I was just so heartbroken that they did not do my ship justice. Moving on, I really appreciated and found interesting how Rowling explored the themes of history and upbringing and how an individual's own personality can affect how they respond to things. Because when you think about it, Harry and Voldemort have very similar childhoods, but Harry is not at all like Voldemort. I mean, he's not malicious. He doesn't have any sort of need for power. He actually tries to get away from the spotlight a lot of the time. I thought it was really interesting how it explored those topics. My favorite of the Harry Potters, one of my favorite books of all time. What are some of your favorite books? I'd love to know if we have any in common. And if you have anything you'd like to say, feel free to leave it down below. And thanks for watching. Bye, guys! I guess I should say that for 18 years of my life, I thought I was going to be a marine biologist, and these guys, killer whales, orcas, that's what I was going to study. I mean, you can't see the walls of my room, but like, well, maybe, no, I'm not going to show you because my room's very messy outside of the frame.